Hello friends and followers. Well, I think this Collins 32S-1 number 2 is graduating to the Radio from Hell column. Definitely now becoming a Radio from Hell. So I can't get 20 meters or 15 or 10 to work correctly on this thing, and I've been debugging all the stages. So all radios mostly have some type of HF oscillator, and here's the output from the HF oscillator on 40 meters. All these crystals here are really just for the HF oscillator to do mixing with the VFO. So c'est la vie. Anyway, here's the second mixer. I'm looking at pin number 3. They're feeding it into the cathode to the mixing. This all comes down from the crystal oscillator down here. And that's all this stuff in this tube right here. So I'm connected now to pin number 3, as you can see, on this second mixer, 12AT7. So here's the waveform on 80 meters, and sure enough, you know, when I deal with the exciter tuning, this is just the first stage of it. So it's just the 80 meter plate circuit from the crystal oscillator. So now if I go to 40 meters, you'll see the same thing when I cruise up here to 40 meters. I'll get a peak right there. Okay, all well and good. Okay, so 20 meters is the problem child. So there's 20 right there. In fact, there's the one crystal right there on 20. Tune. Let's go up to 20 here. What happens? It's a little whacked looking, but there's a waveform there, so it's not as tall. It's only half as tall as the 40 meter and 80 meter waveform, but it's there. All right, 15 meters. Gets worse and worse as we go here. Small waveform, pick it up. It's tiny, so that's a problem, isn't it? All right. And if we go to 10 meters, and take this to 10 meters here, it beats 15, doesn't it? So with that said, I want to go back to 20 meters here and tune this thing for 20. And then can I tune this thing for best output? Yeah, you can do that. So using the scope, it's easy to tune this thing for 20. At least with a crystal oscillator, you can find the 20 capacitor here and tune it. If I could find it, 21, I think it's right where? It's right here. 20 meters is right down there for the crystal plate circuit. So let's go here. 14. And what I'm finding is these little variable capacitors get stuck and they don't work. So I'm not sure how they stick inside, but now if I deal with that, I want to tune that for max. It was maxed out. That's 20. I could do the same thing for 15 at the crystal oscillator. Let's do that. Get these all copacetic. Now we'll tune this for best. And then find the 21 here. The 21 is, which one is 21? It's this one down here. Sorry if I'm not showing on the camera. I will. Okay, there is a 21 right there. So, and that doesn't act right. The variable capacitor is screwed up or something. That sure is flaked out. So they say these capacitors short or they go bad or something. That totally flipped out on me here. It's gone. Whoop. So that's never going to work. It was working. Who knows? Radio from complete hell. Okay. Let's try it again. Nope, that just died on me. I'm not sure why. Get some more gain coming out of it here. Let's try and peak it. Let me try and peak the, try and peak this too. Okay, I'm on 21. It's trying to peak at a harmonic or something. Or is that some whacked crystal they have in there? Maybe I can't get 15 to work because the crystal's not on 15. Have I ever thought about that? Maybe it just doesn't work because it's not a 15 crystal. The guy stuck something wacky in there. That's definitely a possibility. So 15 is what? That one is one dog. Okay, one dog is going to be one dog, 1A, 1C. Where's one dog? Where are you, one dog? 1B, 1E. Where the hell's 1D? There it is. It's the bottom one. So that bottom crystal there, let's see what that thing is. 120775. What about the transmitter that works? 120775. What about this one? 12. What is it? 12. Come on, focus. Same thing. So that seems like it's a 15-meter crystal. It should work. So I'm a little vexed at why I get output way down there. Yeah, I get output around 10 meters or something, or I'm sorry, 10 megahertz or something. I want to get output there. So I'm curious, does the 15 capacitor affect it or not? Where is the 15 capacitor, the 21 capacitor? The 21 capacitor is right there. Can this affect it? No, not at all. A little bit. A little bit, but not much. So, why am I getting resonance there? This circuit seems really goofed up. Hard to say what's wrong with it. Anyway, that's not going to work like that. If I go this 21 crystal here, let's see if that works. Same kind of deal. Nothing at 21, so that's of no use. Back to 28. 10 meters, let's try that. Okay, I get a nice peak there, right? Wow, nice peak. Nice peak on 10, so 15's whacked. I'm not sure why. I was thinking maybe the switch inside's goofed up. The rotary switch, I tried cleaning it, the wafer switch, but let's see, can we peak 10 a little bit? That's 28. I think 28's the top one here. Yeah, it is. Let's try and peak this one. Can I peak that plate circuit there on the crystal oscillator? It either goes off or on. It doesn't really peak. Weird. All right, with that said, I wonder if I can get any grid on this thing on 10 meters. Crank it up. Any plate? Nothing. Nothing at all, so it's not strong enough for plate. Of course, I could be screwed up the whole way down. Okay, so what else I was doing was I was looking at the plate circuit here and say, are we getting decent resonance at the plate on this thing? That's pin number what? 6 and 1. So go to pin 1. That's the plate circuit right there. That's this plate. So amplification should go out to this next stage. This is a plate tuning circuit here. And that's all these capacitors there is for the plate. So there you go. And I just soaked all these and detoxed it because I think they're stuck or something. All those capacitors, I pretty much hit them with detoxit. But let's see what happens here. So I'm on the plate now, and I've seen it work well on 40 meters and 80. Okay, we'll go to 80 meters here. 80 meters and see what we can do with the plate circuit. Okay, turn this down and key it. There we go. Okay, so that wave is mixed with a sound signal from the audio oscillator, but basically we can get a peak at the plate. So there's a peak on 80 meters, which is fine. 40 meters, we should get a peak. There's a peak. So they're all about the same. 80 and 40 look about the same wave height or amplitude. So let's try 20, which is a problem band. Move this to 20. Transmit. So yeah, 20 is the usual mess that it is. And that's probably why it doesn't work, and I don't know why it does that. You can see when I add the sideband tone, it just overpowers it. So 20 is really weak here. And could I resonate it? I can't seem to even resonate it. So if I find the 20 here, the 14 capacitor, and just try and tweak it, nothing much happens. If I can even find it again. Okay, that's 28, that's 21. Where did that one go? Here they are. Here's 14 right here. This capacitor seems like it's jammed or broken or something. I should get some kind of change here. Nothing at all. How can I get no change? All right, you know, for the hell of it, I'm going to try the working transmitter and see what that does. Because this one is the transmitter from hell, and I have no idea why it doesn't work. When you're basically going through all the stages, you know what I mean? And you're debugging, you would think you'd find some success, right? Well, not with this thing. And I can't get down to the wafer switch to fix it easily, so. Okay, burn my hand or get shocked. Let's see, take this out. All right, so let's grab this thing and just throw it on the floor for now. Onto the floor it goes. It's a bad transmitter. All right, transmitter number 1. This one basically works, so we're going to use this one as a reference and see what it does. Okay, and this crystal I think was what, the 1C or something? 1C. What was 1C? 1C is 14. Yeah, that must have been a 14. Let's put that back into 1C. Okay, we got that in. Let's take this out. And find that tube that I set somewhere. Here it is. Put this thing back in to this transmitter. Yeah, I haven't even tried this one for reference to see how it should really work. I guess I should have done that first. All right. It's powered off. Put the plug in the back. Give it some power. There. Now, I'm going to look at the raw HF oscillator again on this good transmitter on pin 3 and see what that does. Let's check out pin 3 on the good transmitter. I expect it won't be real different, really, at least from the crystal oscillator, HF oscillator part. From the HF oscillator, I don't think it's going to be real different. Let's see what we get. All right, power up. And we'll start on 80 meters. This one's harder to turn. 80 meters right there. Boy, it's easier to turn there. 80 meters, plate, 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 plate. Okay, 80 meters. Take this down. Transmit. And that's got even a better wave than the other one, huh? Nice healthy signal there. That seems bigger and better and badder. All right, that's pin 3. So we're coming up pin 3 here in 80 meters. Let's go to 40 meters now. Let's go to 40. Transmit. Nothing. I'm on 40. Why do I have nothing? I should have something. Let's go to that crystal. Oh, I guess there's no lower 40 crystal in the damn thing. All right, there's 40. That works fine. It's about like the other transmitter, same width. It looks cleaner. So that mixer seems corrupted badly. It's got some problems. Okay, so 20. This has been the problem band. How tall is this one? Same waveform. Looks like SHIT, but this transmitter I know works, so I think on this one I could actually get some plate current. Let's see. A little bit, see? A little bit of plate current. And can I get any grid? No. No grid. No grid whatsoever. That's no fun. Okay, oh, there we go. So that shows me that this thing's not aligned right either. That if I move this around and I'm getting grid and that's going away, I should really align this that for a peak there in plate current, it's not far off. Once I get a peak in plate current, I should realign the crystal's plate circuit. So it's a little off, but not terribly. But let's try that. Okay, we got some plate going on there. I'm just gonna give this thing a peak on 14 down here. And this is a good transmitter that works. Where's 14? Where are you, 14? 21, 28, 21, where's 14? Okay, it's here. Here's 14 way down here. This is a plate circuit for the crystal oscillator section. Let's get this thing to peak out. There you go. That should work. Now this should peak. Yep, works pretty good. So, do I get any grid this time? Yeah, I'm getting grid now. Look at that. There's some grid. So that is how to do that. Okay, so now I want to see what's on the plate side of this mixer. We're looking right here. This just basically has a waveform when you turn the volume up, the mic up. Let's go to pin 1 now. Plate. Okay, pin 1 plate. On the good transmitter. Pin 1 on the plate. We'll start back at 80 meters. This transmitter seems more beat. Okay, there's 80 right there. There's 80 right there. Take that down and hit it. There's 80 right there on the plate. Now, if you mix any modulation, you'll watch how that waveform will change. See how the modulation goes in? When I'm adding modulation, that's what happens to the waveform. Okay, now let's go to 40 meters. See how that works. There's 40 right there. I can't say it's grand, but the thing works, right? Look at that plate current going on, grid current. Works like an animal. So let's try 20 now. And now we're on the plate here. We're on the plate. Pin 1, pin 6. We're heading out toward that RF amplifier there. We're heading out toward the RF amp. So now we know 20 is anemic on transmitter 2. So we're trying this transmitter. Okay, there's 20 meters. Give it a key. There's the same sicko waveform. I think with this, you do have to add some modulation to get it to do anything, so. I can't say the modulation looks any better on this good transmitter. It's rather awful. So maybe that circuit is working right. Son of a gun. Can we get any plate? Yeah, there's plate. So this sort of tells me this thing is working right. The other transmitter is working right. And the problem could be in the final circuit. That's, no, I checked the driver and it had no drive. So I'm really at a loss on this thing, man. Kind of at a loss. Why doesn't transmitter 2 work right? So there's grid on 20. I got some grid. And if I go to 15 meters here, key it up, look at the scope. That doesn't look all that different than the other transmitter. Kind of a sick looking little wave there. But can I get any plate? No, I can't. Yes, I can. Son of a gun. So, I guess that mixer's working fine. There's something else wrong downstream. It's not tuned right. So process of elimination with a good transmitter, I think. Transmitter number 2, I think this stage is working fine. There's some other tweak that I don't understand that I gotta figure out. So if I burned it 2 days now, trying to figure this out. All right. Well, that's how it goes. Let's turn this off. So it looks like that mixer is working. Looks like that mixer's working fine. This thing does get played, so I'm a little vexed on why the other doesn't work. Unless there's something to do with the final circuits that are wrong. I don't know. Maybe since the work week's beginning, I'll save it for another weekend. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Colin's expert, I am not.